Where are you now, Beverly?
We are in the Netherlands, just across the border. Looks like it's beautiful too.
Slowest national anthem in Europe. Welcome to Netherlands. Welcome to Netherlands.
Yay.
The country often seen as a place where everything is legal, but obviously there's so much more to see on this beautiful and candlelit country. We're actually calling the country, especially the city of Amsterdam, the Venice to the north, because it does look just like Venice. Anyway, Netherlands. If we are translating the name Netherlands into English, it means low countries, right? Because half of the country, 50% of the country, is 1 meter below the sea level. What we're calling the low countries. Some people, they know the country as Holland, like us, at the south of Europe. We're not calling the country Netherlands or Low Countries. We do have another name, which is the Países Baixos, or the same as in Spanish they say, the Países Bajos. But we are also calling Hollanda or Holland, and I believe you heard that expression before. Yeah, you heard that expression before. Even once the football team he plays, on the TV says Holland instead of Netherlands. Yeah, but Holland is not the name of the country. Holland is the name of the biggest region here in Netherlands, where the people are very proud to be from the region of Holland. If you do ask a local where they are coming from, they will say to you, I'm from Holland. For the ones that living in this region. The ones that living outside of the Holland region, they will say, I'm from Netherlands. Yeah, so it's completely different. The country, as you can see on a map, all the way to the top, yeah, we are just crossing the border. We've got a little red arrow, yeah. We are coming from the southeast of the country, and we're gonna go all the way pretty much to the northwest of the country, yeah. So at the east and at the southeast we do have Germany only, and then at the south we've got Belgium. So that's the place we are exiting the country tomorrow. At the north we've got the North Sea. So the North Sea that will border as well with the country. The country is small, as you can see on the map. It's not that big. It's pretty much the same size, a little bit bigger than Belgium, if you see Belgium. If you see the size of Germany, which is huge, and then you see the size of Netherlands, and then the size of Belgium, which they are pretty much the same. Netherlands, it does have 40,000 square kilometers, where only 33,000 square kilometers are lands. All the other 7,000 square kilometers are water, and they're growing constantly because of the sea advance. I don't know if you heard about Venice. It will disappear in 50-60 years time. Venice, it does have a problem. Venice was built on the top of the water. They do have the problem of the city is sinking, and then also the floats, the sea advance. The Italians, they did spend 7 billion euros in building 79 mobile gates to stop the sea advance, but it didn't work because those 7 billion euros, it wasn't all of them for the constructions. Yeah, probably 1 billion. All the other 6, they were for Silvio Berlusconi and probably for another few ones. Here in Netherlands in 1953, they had a massive flood, one of the worst floods ever, which killed 2,000 people and millions of livestock, which made the country like doing huge upgrades on the dikes, and also they built a wall around the country, especially at the north and at the west, to stop the sea advance, which we are calling the locks. Right? Tomorrow on the way out, we are driving over a few locks, and you will see the water levels are different in each side of the locks. Yeah, they've done really well. They've done the walls on the water, right? And then the water can't come through. It can, but everything is controlled. They've got the control of the water. They can open the locks, they can close the locks, they can open the locks. Not a problem at all. Venice, you still have 50 years to think about that and probably to do something similar, which I don't believe will happen at all. It's sad to know Venice will disappear, but it looks like it will, which is really good. They do have 3 rivers. It is. You know why? You know why it's good. Like I'm gonna explain something about Italy as we now go into Italy. In Italy, and as we do have an Italian driver, Italy is one of the most popular countries in terms of tourist destinations, in terms of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. They do have the 7 wonders of the world, which is the Colosseum, yeah. But then the Italians, they don't really, they're not like the French, for example. The French, they make the things look pretty. They clean the facades all the time. The Italians, no. So the way the building is, that's the way the building will be in 1,000 years. They don't do anything. Even the Colosseum, for example, a building with 2,000 years old, 5 years ago, you could not even see the Colosseum because it was that dirty with mud, with all those years, with the pollution, that was ugly. And then one Roman citizen, he did spend 1 million from his pocket because he's ashamed to have the 7 wonders of the world in my city on that state. So he cleaned actually the water, how they call the water, jet water. So he actually made to clean all the Colosseum. Today it looks perfect. But it was a citizen who actually paid for it. The Italians, they don't really care about those buildings. Because once something happened, once it collapsed, they will make even more history because the Italians are good in making history. Yeah, like for example, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah? It leans 4 meters from the top to the bottom, 4.4 meters. Yeah, they have been doing some renovations, some works to try to hold the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But they're saying the Leaning Tower of Pisa is safe only till 2020, right? And then in 2020 it can collapse anytime. But that's fine because they can make even more history. You remember when the tower was about to collapse and now it's on the floor. Okay, so now everyone is going to see the ruins of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. They make even more history. And then in Venice, it might happen the same. In Venice, once the city actually is going to be closed to the public, because they were actually thinking this year, like in 2019, in putting some gates around the island and then controlling the number of tourists inside of the island because of the weight. So for example, just give you a random number, 20,000 people are allowed to be inside of the island. As soon as 100 getting out, another 100 they will be able to go in. So like a kind of those little gates as we do have on the metros, on the underground stations, yeah? They will do something like that to control the weight. But anyway, once the city is actually under the water, they will do like a kind of water tours, the submarines and stuff like that.
Scuba diving.
Yeah, scuba diving. They will make even more money because the Italians are good in making money. They know exactly how to make money. But then, the money doesn't go to the government. That's the thing. Yeah. So before it goes to the government, it passes 10 different ends. Yeah. And it comes to the Josh's ends as well, and then it goes to the government towards the end. Yeah, but they definitely should do something about the island, trying to preserve, because it's just beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful cities for me in Europe. It's just a different atmosphere, and then that feeling you're having, it might be your last time there. So it's actually really nice to see it. But I believe they will come up with something. Well, if the French people in 1 week they could got actually, they actually got 900 million in donations for the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Italians, they still have 50 years to collect some money, yeah. But then the problem, if they collect 100 millions, they will say in the end the total amount was only 10 millions, yeah. And then you will see Giorgi with probably another 20 millions on his pocket. Did you know Giorgi is actually part of the Italian mafia? Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. No. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Alright, Joshi.
Right, Joshi, go Joshi. But back to Netherlands. Do you know which one is the capital of the country? If you Google it, they will say is Amsterdam, which is not. So on a Google it says Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the capital of the central west of the country. So it's named as a capital, but it's not the real capital. The real capital is Den Haag, or De Hague, as they are calling. We are driving past soon the capital, Den Haag or De Hague. That will be the place where all the government buildings are, and all the meetings that will be in Den Haag, De Hague. That will be the original capital of the country, but everyone saying Amsterdam is the capital of the country, which is not.